Lifestyle is brought to you by Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Hey, you ready? Let's go to Nebraska. See our friend Tom that makes some magic happen. A little while back, I was in the FXR Alpha page, and that's a group for FXR brains, and I have an FXR problem. Everybody knows that. This guy, Tom Browning, was in there, and Tom said, I've got an 82 FXR, it's a part in my house, I'm trying to do this and that, but now I've got this cancer and it's a debilitating pain and I can't do what I need to do. And I'm reading this story, and he said, I've also got a 92 police bike, and I got another motorcycle, and I could use some help. Sometimes on these Facebook groups, it's easy to be a keyboard warrior and not really step in. I felt like God was tapping me on the shoulder, and he said, Brian Clock, I know you're going through a flood right now, but I'm asking you to step in. But this is my second flood in 5 years, Lord, really? Right now? And he's like, yeah, right now. So I sent Tom a message, and I said, I might be able to help you. Why don't you message me? To poor Tom's demise, when I'm trying to fix the flood and my team's trying to fix the flood, and we're dealing with contractors and trying to still get customers their windshields for their new 24 Harleys and all the things we got coming out, it's hard to keep up. It really is. And so I got back to Tom, and we were able to work a deal out. Chris Callan and I are coming down here today, and we're picking up Heather, his beautiful bride, who works behind the scenes tirelessly on Cycle Source and all things greasy gears. She's gonna have her first FXR, and for me, that is the first torch that got lit. To have Heather have an FXR and to have it be a Shovelhead, Chris is a Shovelhead guy. No matter how much he embraces technology, he's a Shovelhead guy. And so it'll be super fun for them, and I'm excited to see what comes. And that seems to be Tom's clutch. That's the bike. So Heather gets to hold that bike, right? And I'm excited about that. The 92 FXR P is a cop bike, a legitimate cop bike. That's where I started. So many of you know, June of 2023, my beautiful bride bought my original FXRP that's full custom, known as Iris, back on her birthday. And now I'm gonna get to have an actual cop bike back. And I hope to keep it as an original cop bike so people can see the before and the after of how you turn something that's a great motorcycle into a completely smoothed out, molded, custom pile of me. Just something I love. I can't help it. Everything's gotta be custom. So I'm gonna try to keep Tom's bike legitimately stock, okay? The other bike is a Street Glide. I don't have a 2014 to I guess it would have been 2014 to 2023 early Street Glide version in my ranks right now. And we're talking about doing some things and talking about the generations of windshields. And we want to tell that Street Glide story. And so this Street Glide is going to be part of that story. So Tom's legacy will live on in the 82 FXR, the 92 police bike, and the Street Glide that we're going to tell the generational story of different eras, of Batwings. And so that's put a little pep in Tom's step. And Tom's happy to tell me that when he goes to physical therapy, it's helping him. And so, okay, God, you're right. You knock, I gotta answer. I gotta do the right thing. I'm helping Tom. So today's a helping Tom day, and I'm excited. So here we are. So 4:15, 4:19, 4:17, 4:15. We're going to break this, right? Here we go. Let's go check it out. This is Tom's house. Never been here, so I don't really know where we're headed. What I understand is these bikes might be in the house, so better to bring them off the porch. He's right, there's 3 steps on the porch. That's what he told me. So here we go. Get the ramp out. There's plenty of room, wasn't there? Huh? Yeah, we got no problem. Okay. No problem. How's things? Yeah, understood.
get that down.
Yeah, no worries.
This was the bike I was asking for help with.
Okay.
Cast iron jugs, aluminum heads. I put out a plea for help on a FXR page on Facebook, and I got a lot of responses from a lot of people. Mostly it was, oh, sorry about the cancer, wish I was closer, I'd like to help, blah, blah, blah. And then I get a text message from some guy named Brian Clock. The funny thing was, in between, he's dealing with this flood, and he's going to the rally and everything. He's got all this stuff going on, and I got nothing going on. I'm ready to give up, and I got to go to physical therapy, and I think, man, if you don't call today, I got to wait till Monday. And he called, and I'm just on my way out the door to physical therapy. I was late. I mean, that was Friday. It's Monday. He's here. I got sick in the summer of 2020. It's cancer, but I was misdiagnosed. Find out later it's cancer. Well, by this time, the tumor is so big that it literally closed off my throat. And they shot radiation into my head, and it kills everything in its way. It killed the tumor, but it also did a lot of brain damage and tissue damage. It's just miserable. They put me on morphine about a year ago. That's when I hit a wall emotionally, physically, mentally. I was like, I give up. And that's when I put out a plea for help. I was looking at the possibility of assisted living, and the way my house was just, it wasn't gonna work.
Okay.
This is not stock paint.
Yes, understood.
Bag hanging there,
Yep. Yep.
so it kind of screwed that up. It's really freaking me out. Today, I was looking for parts, and I found this. This part has been bugging me crazy. I couldn't find it.
Okay, so I've never done this before.
Well, we kind of got to separate. I got a
I
bunch
know,
of...
but I'm just looking at the blocks that you have set on. Like
There's
this
a
little
jack
I know-
right there.
I know, but this little deal right here, right?
It's got an air compressor.
No, it makes perfect sense. So it's just hold it straight up and down. But on any lift or anything, like you can't get under here like you can get under here like this. You see this, Heather?
Never been opened.
This is hermetically sealed.
Wow.
This is the owner's manual that you'll never be able to look at. You'll have to buy a different one. This one has to stay in the package. How cool is that? Look at this.
Well, we're doing neat
Huh?
shit. I was the kid that at career day at high school, I just walked up to the recruiters and I said, where do I sign? I wasn't old enough. My parents had to co-sign for me. And I had my 18th birthday in boot camp, and I had my 19th birthday in Vietnam. I was a fire control technician, guns. In other words, I worked on the computer and radar that pointed the big cannon. And we spent a year over there. There's a book over there about it, kind of like a high school yearbook, only it's a trip to, and it got pretty crazy. Went to a lot of different places, saw a lot of different things. Went to like Japan and Hong Kong and the Philippine Islands. And I was an 18-year-old kid, you know, and first time away from home. And then I got decorated and stuff, but we were never really in big, I was on a ship. You ain't gonna attack a ship with a rowboat. We had to do some scary stuff. We had to take ammunition up the river and bring out dead bodies. And we did mail call and stuff like that. It was busy, and we'd shoot so much during the day that at night, instead of sleeping, we'd have to go out to sea and bring on more ammunition. You know, that's the hard work. You got to carry them bullets down, and they're not stairs, they're ladders.
Yeah.
They're straight up and down, and you're carrying a 75-pound projectile that if you drop it, the ship sinks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's what I did. I controlled the dials on the computer. The Marine would say this way one click, that way one click. And then I'd have a little trigger, and I'd pull a trigger, and I'd give a command to the gunner's mates that they actually had another trigger that shot the gun. It took 3 people to shoot the gun. I was one of those kids that was called a baby killer. I was spit on. You know, and it's true, it's called collateral damage. It happens in every war. It's happening in Ukraine right now. It happened in Baghdad, and it happens everywhere. So it was very unpopular. very unpopular. And of course, the 60s and the protests and everything, it's like, it was a messy time to be in the military. You didn't dare put that you'd been to Vietnam on no job application because they would just throw it away. You know, that's ancient history. That was 50 years ago. I got this tattoo the day I got my orders to go to Vietnam, and that was 1971, so that's a 53-year-old tattoo. Well, and one other thing, it also goes in the side. Something to hold it on because I don't want it to fall off. I was a redneck, and I was into four-wheel drive, and I didn't really get into motorcycles until the 80s. And I was living out in western Nebraska. A guy I was working for owned a bunch of land, and it was flood irrigation. There's a lot of work to do flood irrigation, but he had a pickup, but he didn't let us use it. He had dirt bikes, and we rode dirt bikes around, and that's how we counted rows, and that's what we used, dirt bikes for a pickup truck. And I started getting into riding, and I started just accumulating motorcycles, and the rest is history. Was in a motorcycle accident in 1986. I was coming over that overpass over the interstate just north of here. This guy pulled out. I hit him. I was on a 71 Sportster, and I had a passenger, and I hit the van right behind the driver's door face first. And my passenger hit me in the ass, and my L4, which is about your belt line, just went. And I didn't work for about 3 years. Got in a lot of physical trouble. I was in a lot of pain, disabled, broken back, thrown in jail and shit like that. It just got real ugly. I bought a 1961 Sportster XL CH, little hot rod. Loved it, man. Had that for a while and bought a couple of Shovelheads. I taught my ex-wife to ride on a 78 FXE, and it had an 84-inch stroker, dual plug heads, and a 47 tooth sprocket, and he'd taken the starter motor off for weight reduction. I had to start that stroker every time she'd put it in gear with that 47 tooth sprocket, she'd kill it. So I'd have to start it. She'd kill it, and I'd start it, and I'd put a starter on it. That's when I bought the FXR. I bought that for her, and she loved it because, you know, the old Shovelhead with the 4-speed clunk and bang every time you shift. This thing with the nice 5-speed, and it just was so sweet for her. When we got divorced, she got the house, and I kept the bikes. When I left, I had an electric glide. I had it in the trailer, and I had the FXR in the back of my pickup. And I'm going down the interstate with a sign that said, "Just divorced, she got the house." Every biker that went by would slow down and give me the old thumbs up. I got a lot of funny looks from a lot of people. Being a trucker, when you get off work, the first thing you want to do is get on the road, right? So actually, once I got the Street Glide, I was able to do a little more traveling. The first year I took it to Sturgis in, I think it was June. The next year I took it down to Arkansas. The Ozark National Forest is just gorgeous. And I did Pikes Peak, and I did Trail Ridge Road, went all the way across the $1 Million Highway, Wolf Creek Pass, all the way back into Denver. That was a long day. It's been a great time. And then, you know, the next year was when I took it to Aberdeen for the convention, and I was already sick. When I say I hit a wall, that was mental, that was depression. That was why try anymore? I give up. You know, that's when I reached out for help, and that's when Brian found out about me.
Just like when you were a kid, you pull up and you're cool for the chicks.
Thank you, sir. There's a couple of truck stops in town.
You can still call me. That might take 2 days to get back to you, but you can still call me, okay? I'm emotionally spent. I really hope for Tom this is the next phase of the good. Climbing out, right? The cleaning up. Just what's next for him. Because now he has his house back. He doesn't have all his motorcycles and his parts all in there anymore, but we're gonna be sending him pictures and send him encouragement and let him know that we're fixing him up. It's gonna happen. So I appreciate guys like Tom. They trust you with their history. They trust you with their most prized possession, and many times it's a dang old motorcycle. I don't know how us boys get so attached to stuff, but then I watch my son and his toys and I'm like, it's a thing. It's what we do. Let's head home.